Everton strengthened their bid to avoid relegation by picking up a richly deserved win against the Blues. Watch until the end of this review to hear all of my thoughts on today's match. Hello people, welcome to my channel, welcome to another video. This is my review of the match that took place earlier on today at Goodison Park in the Premier League between Everton and Chelsea, which Everton ended up winning by 1-0. So what I'm going to do for you guys in terms of this review is that firstly, I'm going to run you guys through the lineup that Thomas Tuchel fielded at the start of the match. And yes, I'll be going through the formation that was chosen, as well as the personnel that was chosen. And I'll then be giving you guys my thoughts on the match itself. And yes, I'll be breaking it down into the first half and the second half. And in addition to this, I'll be giving you guys the positives and the negatives that I took from the match. And lastly, I'll be giving you guys my thoughts on Chelsea's upcoming Premier League fixture that will be taking place next Saturday at Stamford Bridge against Wolverhampton Wanderers, with kickoff at 3 p.m. UK time. So without further ado, let's get straight into this review. So we shall begin by taking a look at the lineup that Thomas Tuchel fielded at the start of today's match against Everton. And yes, we're going to kick things off by talking about the formation that was chosen. And yes, it was a 3-4-1-2 as expected. And in terms of the personnel that Thomas Tuchel chose to field, he went with Edouard Mendy in goal. The back three was made up of Cesar Azpilicueta, who was stationed in the right centre-back position, Thiago Silva in the centre of our back three, with Antonio Rudiger in the left centre-back position. The four just in front of the three and behind the one were Reece James, who was in the right wing-back position, Jorginho and Ruben Loftus-Cheek in the two central midfield positions, with Marcos Alonso in the left wing-back position. Mason Mount was the number 10, and yes, I'm of course talking about the one just in front of the four and behind the front two. So yes, that was Mason Mount, and the front two was made up of Kai Havertz and Timo Werner. So that is the lineup that Thomas Tuchel fielded at the start of today's match against Everton. Now I'm going to run you guys through my thoughts on the match, and yes, I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on the first half first. And I have to say that Everton made a great start to the match. They put us under a lot of pressure. They won a free kick inside the opening 60 seconds. And yes, it was a free kick because Ruben Loftus-Cheek got nowhere near the ball, and it was a foul on the Everton player. But yes, the free kick was taken by Anthony Gordon, if I'm not mistaken, and he couldn't hit the target, but we did get away with one there because the free kick was given away in a dangerous area, and it was given away quite cheaply, and at such a key stage of the game. But yes, Everton made a great start to the match. They put us under bags of pressure, and we just didn't seem to be able to cope in the early stages. But as the first half went on, we started to get into our stride, or at least I thought we were getting into our stride, and we started to get onto the ball more without really threatening their goal whatsoever. Yes, we got into pretty advanced positions, but we were struggling to break them down because they were very solid defensively and made it very hard for us to break them down. And I have to give them credit for that. But yes, we didn't really generate any chances until the latter stages of the half. Everton did have a chance through Anthony Gordon where he got the ball down their right hand side and he cut inside. He got past a few of our players, and I have to say that they really should have stopped him from being able to get into this position to take the shot. But yes, Anthony Gordon took the shot on. He did try to pull it back to the near post and catch Edouard Mendy out, but the ball went past the post and off target. And I have to say it was a decent attempt. I could see what he was trying to do. But as for us, despite us dominating the ball, we just struggled to do anything with it. We did lose it quite cheaply at times in that first half as well, and we were just moving it too slowly, which helped Everton stay in their shape, if I'm being completely honest. But yes, we did create a chance, if I can even call it a chance. But we did get into a very good attacking position when Ruben Loftus-Cheek drove with the ball towards the dying stages of the half after receiving it from one of our other players. He did try to feed Timo Werner, but um, he did feed Timo Werner, but his shot did get blocked and nothing came off the attack. But honestly, overall, I have to be completely honest. It was not a great first half at all from us. We, yes, we dominated the ball, but we didn't have a single shot on target. And having said that, I have to give credit to Everton for the way they defended. As I'll say it again. I have to give them credit because they did defend really well. Um, they nullified us and made it very difficult for us to get into our attacking third. And in the second half, and in terms of my thoughts on the second half now, I've seen this too many times with this team, and it's happened a number of times this season where we'd make a poor start to the second half, and that poor start that we'd make at the start of the second half would see us concede. And we did it again in today's game, where we started passing the ball around our defenders, and we just invited the pressure. And Cesar Azpilicueta, who eventually got the ball, made a crucial match-costing mistake that saw Richarlison get on the end of the ball. Um, okay, let me rephrase that. I lost my trail of thought there. But yes, we were passing the ball about in our defensive third, and the ball fell to Cesar Azpilicueta, who did take very long on the ball. I have to say, he did try to pass it to Reece James, but it got blocked by Richarlison, who was putting him under pressure while he was on the ball, and Richarlison ended up getting the ball. He gave it to, I can't even remember who it was, but he gave the ball to one of the Everton players, got it back, and yes, he was in an onside position, and he just fired it past Edouard Mendy. I'm not going to put any sort of blame on Edouard Mendy for the goal because it is by no means his fault. Um, he would have expected the defenders to get the ball up the pitch and do so in a way that wouldn't um, allow them to put pressure on the defence. But yes, poor mistake by Cesar Azpilicueta, and after the goal was scored by Richarlison, Everton didn't even need to get a second, and they so easily could have had a second through was it Anthony Gordon down their left hand side who put it just past the post, but they had a glorious chance to make it 2-0 a couple of minutes after they got the opening goal, and at that point we were holding on for dear life. Thomas Tuchel did make some changes, but I have to say that they didn't really, some of them, or a couple of them, didn't really do much. Christian Pulisic didn't really have an impact on the game. Ziyech tried. Mateo Kovacic did have a couple of chances, but he's just come back from injury, so Thomas Tuchel, he did try to change it with those substitutions, but it just didn't work. We did have some glorious chances. We did hit the post. Mason Mount did hit the post. Um, Cesar Azpilicueta did get a shot on target, but it was well saved by Jordan Pickford. There was another shot that was fired towards goal by Ruben Loftus-Cheek that was really well saved by Jordan Pickford as well, where he tipped it over the bar. But honestly, the best chance that we had came through Mateo Kovacic, where he got the ball in the box, put it onto his right foot, and he just fired it straight at Jordan Pickford, and he should have scored. He really should have scored. I don't understand how we didn't score today, based on the quality of chances we had in the second half, because we did have better chances in the second half, but I still thought that we were pretty lackluster from an offensive point of view. Defensively, after we conceded the goal, we did look open at times, and I have to say that I'm surprised that Everton did not get more than the one that they ended up scoring. But yes, I have to be honest. Overall, it was a very poor performance. At the end of my or in my sorry, let me rephrase this. In my review of our 4-2 defeat to Arsenal, I said that was the worst performance of the season, but I think this game might have just topped it because today we were really poor. We were really poor. At no stage did we look as though we had any sort of control on the game, and I think that we definitely deserve to lose. And I have to give credit to Everton because they are fighting relegation and they are fighting very hard. Um, it would be very odd to not see Everton in the Premier League, so hopefully they stay up because um, it would be nice to see them stay up because with the players that they have in their team, I don't think that they should be in this position in the first place, but hopefully they stay up. Um, but as for us, we need to sort ourselves out and fast because we do have an FA Cup final in less than 2 weeks. And if we even think about showing up like that, we might as well not turn up. We might as well make the FA write Liverpool's name on the FA Cup trophy because today was just poor. It was absolutely poor. But in terms of the positives and the negatives that I took from the match, you should not be surprised to hear me say that I've not taken any positives from that match and only three negatives. And the first of those three negatives is as follows: is the first of those three negatives was that or is that we were extremely slow on the ball. Goodness me, the amount of times where we had the ball or won the ball back in the middle of the park and we took so long on the ball, which allowed Everton to get back into their shape. It's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. And that is something that we absolutely need to improve on. But yes, that's the first of three negatives. The second of three negatives is that we made another mistake at the back that has ended up costing us points. Um, Seriously, we need to sort ourselves out. I don't know what's wrong with us at the moment, especially in terms of our concentration. Yes, we've played a load of games, but that's not an excuse. It's as simple as that. Um, we need to start concentrating and not making these avoidable mistakes. But yes, that's the second of three negatives that I took from the match. And the third and final one is that we did not make the most of the chances that we did create. And that is something that I'm so bored of saying. I'm honestly so bored of saying it. I'll say it again. If I had a pound for every time I said that we're not clinical, I'd be able to live in Winchester. I'll keep saying it until these players or this team starts being clinical. Because for me, that is what separates us from Manchester City and Liverpool. Um, we're just not clinical. Defensively, I don't think we're that far off in terms of quality. Um, yes, we've not been showing it to our usual degree in recent games or in some of our recent games, but defensively, I don't think we're that far off. Yes, we will need to make some reinforcements in the summer with the departures that are going to be made. But honestly, offensively, we seriously need to improve. It's just ridiculous now. But anyways, that is it for my thoughts on the match. Do feel free to drop your thoughts down below. And as always, I shall do my very best to respond. Let's move on. Now, to end this review, I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on Chelsea's upcoming Premier League fixture that will be taking place next Saturday at Stamford Bridge against Wolverhampton Wanderers with kickoff at 3 p.m. UK time. Honestly, we have to win this game because at the time of recording, Spurs are not far behind us after they beat Leicester City by 3 goals to 1 at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and Arsenal are 3 points below us after they beat West Ham United at the London Stadium by 2 goals to 1. So we have to win. It's about time we won a Premier League game at home as well because we haven't won a Premier League game at home in I take that back. Yes, off. I almost forgot that we beat West Ham 1-0 last Sunday, but it's about time we started getting um, a good run of form at home because we haven't really had that in a little while. But yes, hopefully we win. I'm genuinely tired of these lackluster performances. It's about time these players turned up. Um, no excuses this time because they will have 6 days to rest. But yes, it's down to the players. Um, I'll see you all very soon. I will be doing a preview for that. But that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I didn't. Congratulations to Everton. And again, I hope you stay up. But yes, come on, Thomas Tuchel. Come on, you Blues. And peace. I'm out of here.